The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? We're up 11 points on the S&P cash at 29.25. Of course, the Fed just came out with their announcements, and the biggest change is the accommodative languages out of the text. I think that people are just kind of sneaking in now. Of course, Fed announcements tend to see big moves higher and lower before we find out what's at the end of the day at 2:30. So 24 minutes from now, we'll get into the press event, and that normally runs from somewhere around 3:10 to 3:20 before that's over. So don't get too excited. Keep tuned in, but things we'll be keeping an eye on them. Up 77 on the Dow. The Nasdaq is up 43, and the Russell's off 3. And again, maybe a little bit of sector rotation out of those stocks that did so well because of impending tariffs. Now the thought is, what happens if those tariffs come back off and we get a deal? Those stocks that did so well now, up to this point, may be for sale over the next little bit. But, like I said, this is a little bit. We've had a couple of days that I think far too many people were reading far too much into. That was options rollover on Monday and Tuesday. Now we got the Fed announcements, and people probably front ran it a bunch because I don't think there's anything in the way of surprise here. The reality is in the close, and that starts at about 3:30, and we'll see what we have. Now, of course, I don't put a lot into volumes on a day like this, and if you start off with a little lighter volume, it's not going to be a big deal. But, pretty decent. So we will keep an eye on it and let everybody know. I don't know if this is right because I've been watching some stuff here, but if this is right, we've got 6.8 billion shares already, which is more than yesterday. I suspect that a lot of this is actually broken. And the reason why, well, I couldn't work out the volumes yesterday either. So it looks like maybe, oh, you know what? It might be my fault. In fact, I think it is my fault. Let's go back here. This is yesterday. No wonder they're not updating. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better now. Almost 3.7 billion shares on the day, which is kind of right in line. I'm glad I thought about updating my browser. Once again, it was stuck from yesterday. I don't know what else you want to do. Anyway, watch it close. We're up a penny on the U.S. dollar index. That's the DXZ8, 73.72. And, of course, probably the most important thing to watch over the next 24 hours is how the TLT reacts. I've got 116.80 as my last tick. Let me just make sure that that is correct. Check and double check. Where's that at? There it is. Okay, 116.79. So we've got a lot of moving pieces. Don't marry your decisions before the end of the day. I think would be the theme of the day. In the meantime, we need to get to a little bit of history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating, and on this day, the Federal Trade Commission is formed to regulate businesses in the U.S. President Wilson issued this to trust bust. The FTC is controlled by a 5-member panel that serve in 7-year terms. They govern all fair trade practices. Companies like Microsoft and IBM have been under the microscope with the FTC and the FCC. The Bureau of Consumer Protections under the banner of the FTC, as well as the Bureau of Competition and Bureau of Economics. Of course, this was basically into a response after the Sherman Trust Act. We found out all the weaknesses in it from about 1900 to 1910. This law actually started, I think, was signed into law early in 1914. But there was not only the Sherman Antitrust Act, I forget the name of this one. There was another one that actually formed this Federal Trade Commission. But from stocks to just about everything, the start of the Trust Busters, that was actually a permanent position, because the ones that went after the railroad and steel magnates of the pre-Gilded Age, the previous 10 years to this, certainly got away with murder. I think the one in 1914, the big change in it was adding the ability to go after businesses who would, if there wasn't competition, would keep their prices very high in one city. If there was competition, they'd actually go under the cost of production in another city to run other people out of business. And if you had enough money, it didn't really matter. You were just going to run the person with the least amount of money out of business. This actually addressed the kind of a dumping era. And I guess we're trying to do the exact same thing now on a world stage with trade. Okay, we're back to a market already in progress again. In 20 minutes, we've got the Fed president yapping and yakking, and we'll find out what he has to say. I don't think there's a lot of surprise in this. I haven't had a chance to read all the text. I'll get that during the break. But, up 10 on the Dow. If that happened on any day, no one would say a thing. Dow 30 up 62, the NASDAQ up 42, and the Russell up 3.5. We do want to get to a handful of stocks, and we'll get to them with charts. Nike, of course, had earnings after the bell last night. It's down about 3%. In fact, let's get to that one first. We'll look at a couple of others that had earnings also. Did kind of come off the bottom, was actually down below 83. Not a huge move, but it certainly isn't strong out here today. My guess is that this $81 area is support in it, and if you were thinking about buying it, you would probably need to be, what happened here? Did this go to, something just happened. I don't know exactly what. Okay. Oh. Come on. Oh, it's only off 1% now, 84.03. I guess I'm going to have to update all my browsers. Bing screen. I don't have a Bing screen, so we'll worry about that later. Okay. We'll try to figure it out. Anyway.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Monday, September 24th, TFNN is launching a new updated version of our website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, and starting Monday, you'll be able to experience the new and improved TFNN website. If you're a current subscriber, don't worry, your subscription will be automatically transferred. The new TFNN.com will allow much easier access to all your account and subscription information. Get ready for the new TFNN.com, educating investors. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Certainly get an opportunity to give me a call today, 877-927-6648. What do we have here? I wanted to look at a couple other stocks, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. I thought it was Cintas. Yeah. Another one with earnings out here today is CTAS. Of course, they're the uniform company. Never a good day when these guys are lower. Dropped, I wouldn't say horribly, but down 4% as we speak, back into this big day up of 1.3 million shares back on the 20th of July. And just kind of spiked into it, got down to $200.76 and has bounced to 204.85. But a little bit of weakness out there that you wouldn't think if you looked at the numbers in the business. Right now, I think you have to bet on this going back to 195, finding support there maybe, and then going long. I can't see being short this thing, but certainly it is kind of an interesting chart. There was a handful of other ones, and I just can't remember them right now. I'll think of them during the break. Wanted to look at a handful of others, though, today and see how they're reacting to the market as we keep a close eye on it. Okay, we're up 14.5 points right now on the S&P and 100 on the Dow. Everybody's feeling pretty frisky out here. Nasdaq's up 57. Okay, let's see how some of these other ones are walking and talking. Winnebago, of course, this one normally does fairly poorly when energy prices are headed higher, but it doesn't look too bad. We're looking for tests of the mid-40, 34 area. In fact, 34.20 would be the April 16th low. Fairly light volume yesterday, 423,000 shares, up a little bit, but not a big load of volume. We had Marie call in about Watt last week, and I warned that this was either a $250 stock or a $0 stock. Right now, it doesn't look like much has actually happened. Had a little bit of a bounce, but you're back in with 280,000 shares today. I just wanted to do a touch up on that one. UCO which is the ultra crude oil ETF, bouncing right into resistance that goes back to May 22nd. That's $34.67 with 4.4 million shares. Yesterday we had 2.5 million shares, and it's popped right back into the trading range. Energy was, I'm going to say, tepid on the way up from August 15th, so didn't see a great deal out of this other than a larger trading range. Taiwan Semiconductor, of course, the maker of probably half of all the electronic chips that come out of Taiwan. Kind of quietly the company that builds everything that other people design. This came back into this gap down. It was partially filled. See, this gap down happened on the 26th of July with how much? 4.4 million shares. Yesterday, we kind of got into it with 400,000 shares. So there isn't a lot of push for higher prices right now in many of these. Question already today. Take a look and see what Apple's doing. AAPA. Okay. And what do we have? Now you're 223.75 for the high. I don't see much in that. What do we have? Yeah, 222.87 is the last tick. So it's up 70 cents, but for a $200 stock, that's a rounding error. I don't see in that. What else do we have? Got a couple of questions out here to look at Micron real quick, so we'll do that. Yep, we'll revisit Whirlpool too. I think this is actually in my list. WH, yeah. Nope. Yeah, left it off today. Again, I mean, you're just back into this thing on Micron going sideways. So I don't see anything today. Let's go ahead and take a look at Whirlpool, which looked like it was coming back in. And as long as tariffs improve, probably going to be an interesting play out here. Down a little bit, 119.82, 460,000 shares. That's 1/10 of the July 25th low that came in with 4.77 million shares. So you got no volume, but you need some confirmation, and that confirmation would come in the form of a close back into the trading range, which is 122.81. So you've got a beautiful looking chart. You have no signal yet that says this thing headed back higher. Now, if you're trading the equity, you have to wait until you get the close of 122.81 back in that trading range. But if you're buying options, here's where you can get washouts in option positions. And I haven't looked at them, but that's probably what you would be looking at. And the run is probably going to come right around to the 140 area. So you got about a $20 move, a little money in the equities, but if the options are cheap enough, an interesting play there. Okay, still no signal though. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. Up 13 points on the S&P cash. Okay, what else do we have? STNG. Now this is Scorpio Tankers. You would think that the tanker business, especially the bulk shippers and stuff, would have problems with trade worries, but probably take off as soon as they come out. This kind of bounced off this 180 low and 184 low for Scorpio tankers. Looks like it's going to come back. These things could run quite the while, but my guess is that these things will probably run up to the previous highs on any kind of trade deal with China. So you probably want to keep an eye on those, because that could come back in an absolute hurry if those stocks don't go belly up in the meantime. So I think I would wait. I wouldn't anticipate a trade deal, but I'd certainly, if those stocks don't move instantly, but still look good, if we get a trade deal, remember the bulk shippers, and keep your eye on the sky. 50, let's see, what orange Corning, we talked about this one too, that looked like it was bottoming out and may be a signal for how fast the interest rates actually do go up. 9 million shares back on July 25th, 1.16 million shares on September 4th. Today we've got about a little less than 500,000 shares so far. So some of these old stodgy stocks look like the sellers are going away or have decided just to sit on their shares and not doing much. Nuon Communications, I've got to actually sneeze. So the break.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Okay, we're up 12. So that's about it. We got the Fed guy, I guess, looks like he's yapping. So we'll see what happens. Normally, it's fairly quiet for the next 45 minutes. So this is a good time to see how stocks are reacting and separate the wheat from the chaff. But we'll keep an eye on that. Looking at Mosaic, and on Mosaic, you don't have much out here. You had 3.5 million shares yesterday, going into 10 million shares today. You got 2 million shares today. So again, you had some decent volumes kind of peter out here at the top. But we're looking for signs of valid breakouts, and that would be it. Saw this one earlier in the day. Don't know much about it, and thought that this would be a good time to bring this one up on the show. But man, I had a big move out here today. It's called Make My Trip. Is an online travel company engages in the business of selling travel products and solutions in India, United States, Singapore. Doesn't do much business here in the States, but apparently it's got some good news today. Details of an annual meeting of shareholders, I guess, came out. I don't see anything else in the news. Didn't see anything earlier either. But certainly this one was testing the previous August 14th lows that had 1.15 million shares. Did so with 500,000 shares yesterday. So half the volume back into the trading range. And if these travel stocks get fired back up, might be interesting. This one certainly looked like it went off like a rocket today. But again, don't know much about it. Haven't heard much about it. It's at least a medium volume stock. MDSO, which is Media Data Solutions, looking for a low out here to July 30th, came in with 900,000 shares. 900,000 shares yesterday, too. I just hadn't seen that stock before. GNC, of course, this company almost put out of business by a change in the Federal Trade Commission that said celebrities can't advertise supplements, and that's really put a hurt on GNC. This thing bounced off the bottom on lighter volume. It's back into the trading range now. But I don't think how that business, as in strip malls, changes that much. Amazon really getting into the business of delivering this stuff. And do they go out of business? No. Is it as bad as GameStop? Probably not. But my guess is this company could drop half of its stores and would still probably be better off. GLOG, some of these shippers in liquid natural gas have been doing fairly well. This did retest the June 27th high at 1990, went to $20.39 with decent volume, and just pulling back a little bit here. Energy to the top, it's fine. What is it? What is the one that I'm thinking of right here? I'll look at it. I didn't buy it, but man, I think I talked about it on the show a little bit. But as long as natural gas is in play, to me, the better bets are in these liquid natural gas shippers. This company's been bouncing around. It's a little bit of a pullback out here today. Energy off the 2340 low was okay. But my guess is this, when it gets wound up, it's going to make a run back here at about $35. So that may, in a natural gas play, may be fairly nice. And of course, if Trump makes any deals with Europe, this is one of those stocks that can really take off. Frontline, what else do we have on this one? To back up to its gap. That gap came on the 11th of July with 500,000 shares to the downside. We barely have 90,000 shares today, 200,000 shares yesterday, 350,000 shares the day before. Let's talk about what this company actually does. Every time I hear Frontline, all I think about is my dog collar that they used to sell. Engages seaborne transportation of crude oil and oil products worldwide. As of December 31st, the company's fleet consisted of 61 vessels. And I guess you don't have as many of those vessels just steaming around full of crude waiting for the price to go higher. That used to be the big deal. Anyway, they got a lot of shipping. This thing's been going up since $4.46, and maybe one of the good ways to trade the crude business in the near future. FleetCor Technologies, FLT is the symbol on this one, is banging at its highs. Problem is volume's kind of light. 222.92 on June 21st saw 4.5 million shares. Tried to go through it with less than a fourth of that on July 25th, right back into the trading range. You spiked it on September 21st, went right back into the trading range. Up yesterday on 462,000 shares, up today on 252,000 shares. And of course, these folks provide commercial payment solutions in North America, Latin America, and in Australia. Company offers fuel payment systems to government entities. So a credit card, I guess, for all those guys standing around under the shade. Okay. It just seems to me like a card with a company just with a special credit card. I don't know. I guess there's a business in it. Stock's at 225. I'm just wondering how much that is into it, and how long is it before Amazon gets into credit cards or Visa or MasterCard attack a business like this. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more to it than I know. Maybe someone will call in. That was it. Frontline. Front time, front line. What else do we have? Flowers, something. What is this? Flower Foods. That's what it is. Been watching this one. 2.5 million shares on a big thrust down on May 18th. We got into that yesterday with 985,000 shares. Today we got 1.22 million shares, but it's back into the trading range. So there's some of these stocks that have kind of washed out. This is in a trading range from about 18.5 bucks to about 20, let's call it 21.5. Not a whole lot of money in it, but kind of interesting to see some of these stocks finally bottoming out that had difficulties. Callaway Golf, of course, we're into September already. Kind of a seasonal business, but they sell a lot of stuff at Christmas for those golfers who look out the window and see nothing but snow. Getting a new golf club just makes them think that summer won't be that far away. What you don't have is a lot of volume. Spike on August 3rd, $23.60 with 5 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 1.5 million shares. Today, just 353,000 shares. So fairly light in the golf department. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. We were talking about Callaway Golf, of course. You probably got a little bit of juice coming into Monday with the Tiger coming back, but you never know. One of the IPOs that I've been interested in was DocuSign. We talked about it in the Tech Insider area. This is the ability to sign things online, and apparently it holds up in court. I haven't heard anything bad about it. This, of course, a fairly new IPO, and the first thing that you want to do on all IPOs is go to Google and type in NASDAQ IPO lockup, and then the symbol of the stock, and you will see this show up. If I can actually, why didn't it move it? There it is. And you'll get all the information. What you want to do is slide on down and look up for that lockup date and the period. Normally, it's going to be 180 days. So lockup is open on, what is that going to be, October 24. So we're about 30, a little less than 30 days to the lockup on it. And that's when you want to keep an eye on what this thing does and how it reacts, whether insiders are selling. It can tell you a great deal. If no one sells and the stock just goes sideways for a few weeks and you really don't see much happening, probably a fairly good sign that happens. But, this is going to be done kind of in the last few days of October. You get into November, nothing happens maybe the first couple of weeks in November. This could be a nice little one that would run into the end of the year, depending on whether it can bottom out. And again, there's a handful of these stocks. What was the other one? AVLR that I brought up. This one does kind of a cloud service for telling you how much taxes are in anywhere in the world, and including tariffs. But again, we're getting closer and closer to these IPO lockup dates, and of course, everybody's going to get a little nervous. This thing's probably also going to come back down. I think IPO's lockup in this one is mid-January, so we've got a little bit farther to go. But once these things are out of lockup, then I'm going to look at them a lot harder. But, not acting all that horribly so far for an IPO. Most of them have kind of an initial buzz, and then they move on. DDR, which is DDR Corporation, looking for a bottom on this, and that goes back to this $12.50 low on April 23rd. Nice light volume move. You came down with some decent energy into July 27th. You bounced. Energy came about the same, but now we're really starting to base out in this 1250 area. Looks interesting because guess what? A nice bounce to fill about half this gap would take you back up to about 1650. So if I could get 1250 and get out at 1650, I'd be a happy camper. How about you? Well, we're only up 8 points as the blabber in chief for the FOMC continues to yak, and I don't know what else you could say. 55, no, up 50 on the Dow. Nasdaq's up 30 cents. This is just pretty typical. Everybody gets in front, runs it. It goes higher, then it goes lower, then it goes higher, it goes lower, and it's the last 30 minutes that make your day. I have a question about Yelp, WELP. You know, you had a huge move up on the 9th of August. Did so with 9 million shares, got into it with 5 million shares September 20th. This thing's just kind of coming up with lighter volume. A lot of things going against these companies, especially review companies like Yelp and others, where we know just how many of those accounts have either been paid for or lied about. But you know, you did catch a lot of people napping back on earnings on the August 9th. This thing, I think, was about 30% short at the time. So one of the reasons why I don't short stocks until everybody is out of them. We also have a request about Tesla from Mike in Orlando. Yeah, this is what you want to see. You want to see a lot of people not shorting anymore and covering. We haven't seen much of that, but you're going to get one more bounce. Let's see, what's this? You're going to see one more bounce in this thing. And what you would love to see in Tesla, if this thing is probably going to 40 bucks, as I suspect it is, and I've been watching, so we'll be talking about this one for a while. If it does, you want a spike that looks just like Tilray did. It may not be that big, but it's going to be intraday. You want to see something like that. You want to go see it hit some high that you didn't think it was going to see and then give it all up in one day. And that generally tells you two things. One, you just ran all the shorts, and two, no one was willing to short it. So when it came back down, there was no one willing to buy it. That's exactly the same kind of psychology in the market that you see in the kind of the shooting star, or the bulb that burns twice as bright, only burns half as long. Okay, okay. What else do we see? Oh, wanted to go to the next one, which is BMCH. This is a BMC stock holdings. Certainly looks like this is going to come back and test the $17.10 low from April 30th. Now, a lot of interesting stocks out here that I probably haven't paid attention to in a long time as far as what they do and new names, but getting a little bit of love in the volume. BMC Stock Holdings operates as a lumber and building materials distributor and solutions provider in the United States. BMC Stock Holdings, founded in 1987, headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. I bet they have another name for their stores, don't they? BMC Stock Holdings. I'm sure it is. I just don't see it here. Down hard, though. This takes you back into the big thrust up on May 8th that had 1.4 million shares. But you know what? 1.4 million shares compared to 445 may look fairly ugly out here, but it doesn't look that bad. Around 18 bucks would be a sweet price. Maybe you get that, maybe you don't. But in the next few days, we're looking for some kind of stability in a lot of stocks, including in housing. Which one I'm thinking? What is it? PHM for Pulte? No, PMH. PHM. Isn't that Pulte? Yeah, Pulte Group. As we've seen that one continue to head lower, higher interest rates. And the question is, are these things, these are giving us the barometer of what we're looking at in the next few weeks and months going into the end of the year. Pulte needs to get to about 24 bucks. That's a fairly long shoulder move and spike on April 30th, and then kind of a shoulder out here all the way through midsummer of last year before it had its big run. Now we're pulling back. Energy's increasing, but we need about that $23 level to hold, or we may be looking at a lot less housing sales in the short future. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
CarMax had earnings out this morning. Of course, symbol is KMX. Used car sales are really good. This thing did go much higher today. Got up at about, 79.50 early in the day. Rolled back over. He even had kind of a big run down below to 72.65. A little bit out here about what it closed now yesterday. So fairly wide range out here in CarMax. And not sure why. I'm going to have to do some more research on this one last night. But a candle like this makes me think this thing's going to get back to this big gap about 71 to 72 that started off here on the 22nd of June. To keep an eye on it. And of course, on earnings after the bell tonight, we've got two of the weakest retailers, Bed Bath & Below, although it's, I don't know how much below that there is. The one nice thing is this thing has finally started to pull off this July 9th high with lighter energy. Had a huge volume down day, though, on September 13th. It's kind of moved a little higher into the sides. Again, huge short interest in these. I'm not interested in shorting anything less than a $30 stock or above, but that does get to you. It's probably on its deathbed is Pier 1. This thing's down, gap down already on September 21st. And I show earnings after the bell tonight, although this thing looks like maybe they leaked and I didn't check the information on that. Tomorrow morning, what we want to be looking for is Rite Aid and Accenture. Barrel Gas, nothing really after the bell tomorrow night. Friday morning, we get BlackBerry and Vail Resorts. And then next week, we start picking up on that earnings call. Watch the last 30 minutes of the day because it's going to be about the Fed. Then next week, we get into window dressing and a handful of other stuff. And of course, earnings really starting to pick up next week. Fever pitch about mid-October. In the meantime, sow when you can, not when you have to. And we will see you here tomorrow. Think back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.